Hi, I hope this finds you all well, and I really enjoy getting to know each of you through your introductions on Blackboard. This is Dina Harshbarger, your practicum facilitator, and I wanted to update you by providing you with some video resources if you choose to use them that might help you guide you through the 5 sections of your case study unit that will be done as part of your practicum. The first thing I'd like to show you is on Blackboard, you will be able to access the assignment by going to Assignment 2, Case Study of a Unit. Then you will find a rubric here that specifies how I will be scoring your particular case study unit at the end of the semester. Down below you'll find a template. This can be used to actually begin your work if you use the document version. This is what the document version looks like when you open it up. I've attempted to do some highlighting and color coding that you may or may not find helpful. The actual case study unit is described starting on page 3. In this video, I'll walk you through the first section of the unit template, and this one involves the objectives and standards. So as you can see, you'll be expected to identify 3 to 4 unit objectives and then 3 to 4 objectives per lesson. This is indicated in the template below, and you can actually use this as your template and type on it to facilitate things if you choose. If you'd prefer to create your own template, feel free to do so. This section begins here with the unit objectives, and I'll show you an example that might be helpful. This is an example of a kindergarten unit that is based on Dr. Seuss's work. You can see that there are 3 specific unit objectives that are meant to be accomplished at the end of the unit, and then 4 specific lessons that will be used to meet those objectives. For this particular case study, all 4 lessons address all 3 unit objectives. This does not necessarily have to be the case. Once the unit objectives are determined, you will create and teach 4 lessons to accomplish your unit objectives. Each lesson is described here. This is lesson 1. The objectives are listed across the top. These are the exact same objectives that you listed up here. Up here in this section. So you're just going to take this one and write it in this square, this one goes in this square, and this one goes in this square. From there, those are the focus of our instruction. This particular lesson has 3 specific objectives. You need to have at least 3 to 4 objectives per lesson. Once those are determined, you can just indicate with an X how these align with your unit objectives, as is shown here. Here's the lesson 2 objectives, lesson 3 objectives, and lesson 4 objectives. Next, you'll identify whichever standards you will be using. So for this example, we're using the Nebraska State Standards, and they are identified on the left-hand side. Each lesson objective is written across the top, and the X's indicate which standards are being addressed in each lesson, by each lesson objective, I should say. This continues. This is lesson 2 with all the objectives across the top. Standards down the left-hand axis. Here is lesson 3 and lesson 4. At the completion of your standards and objectives being identified, there's a written component of the assignment for section 1. This part really deals with the demographics of your school, so you'll want to take a look at the template, and it specifies what you should include in this written portion. The written portions are identified in bright blue font, so hopefully they'll stand out for you. You should use the APA format, double-spaced, and describe the context of your classroom and your school as it affects your lesson planning. What are some things that you consider? This will be written in this section. Once you get this section done, it will be scored according to that rubric, and you can work on the second section, which is the actual instructional planning. That information can be found in the next video.